Hello. Good afternoon.
The fuck is
Okay, I like how you've been sat here for like 10 minutes, but you only noticed that as I unmute.
Moustache.
Moustache.
What is it?
It's a keyboard mat, but I'm not going to be using it on keyboard. I'm going to be using it over on the art desk because this desk has a rounded edge and that desk has a sharp edge, and it was hurting my arms while I leaned on it. So it is a cushion to rest my arms on. It arrived today. Hello. Hi, everyone. There we go. There he is. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Hello, Fo. Hello, Wagon. Hello, Sam. Hello, Core. Thank you for subscribing, Core. I saw that.
You're supposed to get them to sound off.
Ah, yes, I'm trying to scroll through chat and it's scrolling through the game. Hello, everyone. Still trying to get back at jet lag. Oof. Oof. It's a good thing you went to bed early last night, right? Right. Making another OC. Oh my god, another one. You're actually like making one like every day.
Wait. Where did Emma go?
It's just launched just straight into it? Okay.
Emma's not there.
Huh. Well, she ran off. Yeah, that was the last thing that happened, wasn't it? She ran off.
Oh yeah.
Literally the last thing that we did was she ran off and was like, "How could you? You're being so mean," and ran away. And now we're back in it. So, yeah. You're not the only one who can do that. Cups of tea, everybody. Require an army of huggable creatures. That's why I have so many plushies. 11-hour time difference is probably going to stick with me for a while. Oof. Yeah, I think it will. That's rough. That is rough. Hopefully you get over it soon. All right.
A little sleepy.
Okay. Long day at work. Well then. Is it Suicune? I love Suicune.
Pingus.
What is what you were building up to? It was very slowly crawling towards the microphone.
All right. Cornwall now can
Oh no! Oh no, sweetie, no, no.
I need that fake end stream button. I need it. It's,
No.
it's a very necessary part of your establishment. It's very easy for you to code. You just take the same screen. You just don't need the music on it. You
It's
can
just
have
this. It's just that there. Where it's...
Yeah, just put so I can press a button and just have that just come up and be like, no, we're done. Can't do this.
Oh dear. Are you okay? You didn't say anything, but I have told you before that if you're too tired after work, we don't have to do this.
That would upset Foe. This is Foe's highlight of the week.
Well, yeah, but you could. I assume you want to list reasons not to do it.
I thought she meant it like in the chat for like you can catch a Suicune cause like half panic like give me the blue dog cat.
It's a blue aminal.
All right, well, Foe's all right then. See you guys later. Thanks for coming by. It's hilarious.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna go turn off the server in a minute. I'm at the end of my tether.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that either, Rosa.
Bitch. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Ms. Lana Sky. Now I need a coffee.
Did you make yourself decaf for a regular tea? You probably should have had a regular one. Talk about what? Exactly, Rosa, exactly.
Yeah, Emma didn't come back. So there's just a minor that's out loose in the streets, and we're not really that concerned.
Well, no, it's America, Japan, so there's a 50% chance that she'll be fine. And we're not going to talk. We're not going to talk about the other 50%.
Does it involve buses
or
trains?
No, we're not talking about the other 50%. Hello, hi. We've only really just got here, so you've not really missed anything. Hi. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime, who has notably been absent
and drinking.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Gavin. Oh.
Spook's immediately like, oh, fuck.
Why do I voice everybody in this goddamn game?
Because majority of the cast are male.
But so is Miles Edgeworth.
Yeah, and we gave me that role as a penance more than anything. Because we were like, we can't have you be Phoenix and you also be Miles, because then I'm not going to be speaking for the next 2 hours. You can genuinely go there.
Oh. I'm here now. Started. I swear to God, if Gumshoe just bursts through the door at some point and I have to switch into another voice.
I love him.
Oh.
Gumshoe.
He's not in this one. He's not allowed. Got a new Gumshoe.
No.
Name's Mark. Me, partner. I'm just a wandering man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. With an ascot.
Occasionally helping me out across intersections when needed. Yes, we get it.
Wow, patronising. Oh, I know. You're a pillock. Yes, you're a pillock.
That's gotta rob him up the wrong way. He was a detective.
Yeah, that's my name. If you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out.
Oh, no one in this game is straight. We've already had this conversation. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor.
Why did you ask if you were just going to give it anyway?
Yeah.
Howling wind. I've never heard Edgeworth described that way.
That was actually quite clever.
Mental burn.
Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crimes took place.
Negatory, as we already established. Mr. Meekins was in charge of that. Establish this. Going to the papers, partner. What do you mean? Desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up.
So what you're saying is that on paper you should have been there, but you weren't.
I can sum you up on paper. I can just write dickhead on it. One of the trainers came into the office today, the ambulance office, while I was in there.
Oh.
And he said, have you got any, this was to the managers, he was like, have you got any of them papers that says I can off-road one of these trucks because there's a defect with it? And because the managers are always awkward, they're just like, oh, fuck you know, what does it mean? Is it pinned up here or anything? And I just leant over and just went, there's a pen there and there's paper in the printer if you want. And the manager just went, see, he's got the right idea, get to it. There you go. See, I could be a manager. It's a piece of piss. It's called delegation.
Yep. I mean, you've shown evidence in the past that you can be a manager, just begrudgingly.
It's just called being rude. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony on the day of the crime. And do not talk like Clint Eastwood, otherwise I'm going to, it's plain English, or I'm going to slam you with my gavel. Yeah, I'm still not convinced that's his hair.
It does look a little odd, doesn't it?
It's too fabric. I swear that's just a part of the hat.
It does look a little odd.
Because I mean, they do use those kind of things in order to block the sun on your back. Admittedly, they're usually white, but I appreciate that there might be different colours. Just getting burnt on the back of your neck sucks.
Oh yes.
Anyway, my job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard.
You put the bones there.
Said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Can't count to 3. I do 6, like a 6-shooter. Pow, 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 pow. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street side saloon at the time it went down.
You were out at a bar?
I'm just an innocent traveling man. So if you're out of ammo, it's time to hit the trail. I was thinking of the non-stop beard. Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
he grows hair like
yeah, just
Dennis from
constantly
SpongeBob.
shaving.
Can't say I particularly care for your attitude. Can't say I care for your beard. You don't see me complaining.
Wow! Marshall is not making friends.
Genuinely, that kind of stuff can get you in trouble in court.
Yeah.
I know it's really biased and everything, but if you're rude to the judge, they have like special privileges where they can just be like, "You're being an asshole. I'm going to be biased against you," and they're basically allowed to do that. Which is dumb because that's privilege.
Mm.
But whatever. Anyway, wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader.
So we got a free press there for free, basically.
I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yes, well, what about the fingerprints activated locks on the evidence lockers? Fingerprint activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those?
He doesn't know about them? So, because I guess they must be quite recent. Were they installed after he was dismissed from being a detective?
I don't know. 2 years isn't that long, but I don't know.
Mm.
I can't remember now.
Don't remember
where
if
they
they
mentioned.
said. Yeah, I don't remember if they said.
Gumshoe might have said when they came in, but whatever. It's not being very helpful. You know that.
He's not that good with machines or with following orders.
Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor?
He's a security guard, though, and he's illiterate. 2 different types of people.
This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright. He's all yours. Great, thanks.
Thanks. He is sassy.
I remember you from Brokeback Mountain.
You've watched Brokeback Mountain?
I haven't actually. I haven't watched a lot of the old classics.
Same.
I'm still waiting for them to do the all-female remake. Topical. How exactly do you keep an eye on the evidence room? Just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still. Even time dies in there. That was just the caretaker who interred the record.
Yep.
What? Who interred?
Interred the recordings.
I've not heard of that word before.
I have heard of the word, but it isn't not often used in this context.
Why do you hate women spook? I don't actually, because that is me honouring and worshipping them. That's a different thing. Thank you.
Phoenix
Thank you, Phoenix.
So it is a word, it's just not really often used in that kind of context.
Videos are nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape.
If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours.
Each time I'd erase the tape, I felt like I was erasing a part of my life.
Hello, Ronan.
Fuck all happened in it. This guy has a flair for the dramatic. It isn't going to do him any good. Phoenix, you should like this guy. He talks like you think. So, in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. Balls in your face.
Stop it!
Hold the balls. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you, that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No desperado. No desperado lets rules get in the way. You have a weird way of talking in normal English. What the fuck? No desperados I know joined the police force. I mean, technically they did used to be sheriffs, but whatever.
Yeah.
I can't do that spook, I'm at work. Did I address call? I don't remember doing that.
Theatre made a dramatic bastard connection. Oh my god, that explains everything.
So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime, what were you doing? Just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. Of course he's going to say that.
Of course he's going to say that, yeah, because I'm under the impression that he did. He's denying it.
Oh, you said hold the balls. Hold the balls.
I hope. Stop it!
Balls in your face. There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about it? Why are you asking? Sorry, partner. Can't say I do. Haven't been in that crypt in weeks. How does this guy avoid being fired? do you mean I'm being old again? What have I done?
Who's to say?
Foe is to say right now because I have interrogated her. Hold it.
Hold it. What are you doing to your slipper?
Good business. Good business.
No, you're just slicing stuff off again.
You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct?
Be careful.
Catch you later, Foe.
He put on the witness as a weapon on the stand. That's a fair point, actually. He's holding a knife in a courtroom.
Yeah, but we're holding our tongue. Hey. Of course, back in the day, my locker was a goldmine of evidence. Bang. And yet you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism. Oh, is this where? Yep. Sorry, partner. Ain't good with machines. Couldn't even tell you how a bike works. Wow, that's
Yeah.
quite incredible. There you go. Ah,
The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence.
that seems like a major flaw in the system. Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too.
Oh.
At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? Oh, Foe's just lurking because she's doing a test.
Yes, she's.
What kind of test are you doing?
Well, she's lurking, so she's probably not going to be able to tell us.
Is it? You're not in an exam hall at the moment, are you?
You better not be.
IQ test.
We're doing an IQ test while you watch the stream.
Fortunately for Foe, that is one test that you can't technically fail.
Wow, that's so mean. That's so mean.
Funny though, isn't it?
It's
I'm bored. I finished my
mean.
exams. Fucking, how much of a fucking
If
tryhard
the
are
detective
you?
doesn't know how his own stuff works, then he's not a reliable witness for this specific section. This is also true. Wow.
Oh no, Blue's gonna jump out the window. Don't do it, Blue. We love you. No. Keep pressing.
Keep pressing, it's just gonna be this.
What were you doing in a place like that? Why did you shout that, Phoenix? You really leant into that.
Eating spaghetti!
I was touching my spaghetti.
Somebody touching his spaghetti. Oh no, he got it all over his head.
And burnt it.
Yeah. Oh, so he's as good a cook as you are. Ow! Ow! That's hard plastic.
Good.
Objection, Edgeworth and Royce aren't kissing right now. The trial needs to be thrown.
I'll throw you all out. And if his angel state lunch can beat the parlors, Vongo's
Scipia.
What the fuck?
Fungal Scipia. Scipia pasta! Did he genuinely get it on his head?
You mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. Oh, he's got a sensitive bum hole. From the gay stuff.
Read the line.
That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson. That's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth says, did you not want a raise this year? Ah, so he's not under Edgeworth's sort of control or domain, is it?
Well, Edgeworth is on thin ice at the moment, is the thing. Edgeworth isn't having a lot of sway at the moment because he's getting in trouble a lot. So I think Edgeworth himself is probably like, this is where I would say this, but I can't.
No, because usually if shit falls on you, the best thing to do is to pass it further down the tree. So that would be more reason to shout at your subordinates to be like, I'm in trouble, therefore you lot didn't do your job correctly, so you're in trouble. Out of ammo, Officer Marshall? You firing blanks? That's right, partner. Or as you'd call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you better draw. Otherwise you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. But you do know how a bike works.
You just said you don't know how a bike works.
One thing seems clear. You're a terrible cowboy.
Yeah.
Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, Witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. Yeah, that's why it's a fucking lawless state. Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I'd best keep my cool. Before I use it, though, I'd better up the ante.
What?
Oh.
Okay, so we need to present something.
What do we got?
Right, well, have we got anything that proves that he was there? Do we have on the log?
No.
We don't. Oh my god, wait. At first I was like, oh, is this Gant's number because it's such a unique number, but now I remembered that because he's a cowboy, it's Lucky Sevens, isn't it? Is that Marshall's number? Is that a
I
thing?
wouldn't have.
No?
I'd probably associate that with Vegas, which is much further north.
Fair enough.
That's Nevada, isn't it? Is Vegas in Nevada?
I think it's in the Nevada desert.
Pretty sure it is. My American geography is doing me wrong. Oh wait, wasn't there blood on his locker?
Yeah, oh, we found his fingerprints. Yeah.
Oh.
Literally, we found his fingerprints.
Oh yeah. So, well, yeah, when he says I wasn't in the room, well, you were. Size room.
Two suitcases. I was at the side street and I'm just an innocent traveling man, so you're out of ammo. It's still so this is this one. I was at the street side saloon, so thanks. Marshall's fingerprints.
Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this.
Hmm.
After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. Yeah, you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. Pay my respects. That is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints will be in there.
Hold up.
I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. He's even got stirrups.
Yeah, damn.
Witness, what is the meaning of this? Your bloodstained fingerprints were at the crime scene. Blood was wiped away. However, a luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders.
What? I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall?
Bloodstained.
About the blood-stained fingerprints?
Very well. Maybe you'll begin your testimony about your fingerprints. Found at the scene of the crime. Exasperation at the end.
Yes. Yeah, I believe that is the police department logo, because the other guys seem to have it as well.
Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be the same place as the bloodstained handprint. Murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance.
That's your excuse?
Bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See? Had nothing to do with it.
That's your excuse? That's tenuous at best.
Witness's explanation appears valid.
No, it's not!
I mean, the bit about the glove. Although there's room for doubt.
Yeah, no kidding.
Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. This guy's hiding something. Can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it.
Gabe should always saying the glove, how would he know? It's a fair question. Or does that fall under common knowledge for this trial? I don't know.
That's because how did you put it, pay your respects once a month? Yes, right. Then one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. What? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now is a heap of broken dreams.
And that white cloth.
It's strange my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently, his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. Must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without even ever knowing it. Yeah, I think he knew.
Yeah, he knew. He's bluffing.
So then, what about the bloody handprint? Was a man. It's no mystery. Please explain. The locker is covered with my fingerprints. Just so happened.
So that press didn't really give us anything.
The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why?
Let's say fingerprint completely unrelated.
Unrelated? They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast, while the other's a type of murder. That's right, you know. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different. I don't see why homonyms have to do with this.
I'm Phoenix.
Or did you know the murderer was wearing gloves? How do you know that? Maybe a loner, but still do my job. To keep up on the reports.
There's a blood stain at the scene of the crime, thought to be left by the murderer.
That's right. It was found in Detective Gumshoe's locker.
However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint.
Yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. You're starting to get the picture, partner. Picture? The seal of blood. In the desert, it's just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. The security tape. Ah, this is where we can hit him with that.
Yeah.
As long as my trail isn't there, you can't say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall.
Too bad for me I wasn't in that video, right, partner? Should we present the video or should we press?
I'm impressed first, I suppose can't do any harm. What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? So, video is the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. Camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape easily.
We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright.
Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now, so we can show
Now
it.
he's on the evidence.
Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall.
Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake.
Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall. So we can fast forward.
Oh, not the music again!
They didn't fast forward the music.
That's probably a good thing, to be honest.
Poor Meekins. Oh my god! Oh! There you go, now I need to pause. Bows.
It's right here. Take that!
Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. Days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Time for a haiku. Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner.
You actually just sat there and was like, hang on, I gotta count.
The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. That locker with the white cloth sticking out? That was the witnesses, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Now then, let's rewind the video a bit.
Did you rewind it faster?
Oh, the white cloth. It's gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall?
Yes, we're on the video.
When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then, it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Order! Order! It would seem that's the only... Hold your horses. Sorry, partner. But you got the wrong man.
Huh?
So what if my locker was opened? Doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. Ooh, new shot. Edgeworth's even like... I'm not speaking up because I know he's going to say objection in a minute, but, you know, have your time. The murderer needed to hide something, so we opened the locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine.
How do you know that?
Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man?
How could you possibly know that?
Maybe he doesn't know how the lockers work then. Maybe he is that dumb. This guy isn't playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker, now prove it. Okay.
Fingerprint again? Because it's a fingerprint locker.
Have we got a locker just as evidence? I'm sure we've got a locker. Yeah, there you go, evidence locker. Only the assigned detective print can unlock it. There you go.
I like that that's a... Wow, not what I meant to do.
Look at this locker graph. Fingerprint sensor?
He genuinely didn't know? He is illiterate.
We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? This actually seems a little far-fetched, because imagine if you were in this situation, you would have definitely tried to open someone else's locker to put it in. You wouldn't use your own locker to hide something. Because if there was like, you know, oh, we're just going to do a search of all the lockers because something bad's happened, you'd be like, oh shit, I done goofed. The buzzards are on my trail.
It's also
Western metaphor.
Interesting if he genuinely doesn't know. Like can't tell if he's pretending or not. But if it's interesting if he genuinely doesn't know, because my current theory is that he was actually the person pretending to be Detective Goodman. Which, if that's true, that means he was set up because the glove was like put in place so that he could open up the locker.
So
someone else would have done that because he wouldn't know that he would need to jam the locker open in order to open it. He would have assumed that he could just open it anyway because he didn't know about the fingerprint sensor. So if it
does beg the question, like, how was it opened? You would need Goodman to have specifically opened it.
Yeah, someone had to have opened it That's why
someone would have had to have been there with Goodman when he opened it, and then said, "Oh, I'll shut it for you."
Yeah, and jam that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if the current assumption that he was pretending to be Detective Goodman is true, that means that someone set him up.
Because he wouldn't have known otherwise. Oh, I need to jam that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So I'm like, if he genuinely didn't know, that's very interesting.
Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake. In any case, locks aren't that obvious.
Gotcha!
There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks.
Huh.
Thank you for that, Gumshoe. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? One word for you, partner. Bitch.
No! It was like he got shot.
He did. Order. Witness, explain yourself. If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard.
Dramatic bitch to the end.
I assure you, this is no joke, Officer Marshall.
He's chewing on a piece of jerky.
Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Jerky's so tough he can't even bite a bit off.
Yeah, Jesus. I mean, jerky is tough. Proper jerky is. He's got some nice pair of teeth. Judge!
Olay, please answer the question.
No!
What is he now, a bullfighter? That's all right, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out from here. We can? Yes, I'm a genius after all. Have a look at these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekings didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness?
It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. Edgeworth already knows.
Yeah, that's why he's not done the objections, because
Yeah.
he's just like, you're done. You're done.
Yeah, that's why he hasn't spoken up this entire time. He's like, I know what has happened here.
Yeah. Plus, it does also work in his favour because technically we're trialing Lana Skye, so all we're doing at the moment is proving that, the body wasn't here and was in the
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
car park.
Again, we're being played like we were before. Of like, oh, we proved that Meekins wasn't responsible, and then we were like, oh shit, that means we're getting Lana in more trouble. It's like we're just doing the same again. Like we're proving that Goodman wasn't in the office in the evidence locker, which means he was in the car park to be murdered.
Yeah,
So we're just digging another hole again.
that's right. The only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime?
He was the victim.
Officer Marshall was standing right here. There, but that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct, unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up like Detective Goodman.
That's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime. If he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure.
I'm allergic to your bullshit. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekings did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him, why the fuck am I having a flashback about something that happened 5 minutes ago? Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me! Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? He had every right to be there.
Yeah.
Yes, he would have needed to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it.
Mm.
As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown.
Meekins has the logo on his hat.
Officer Meekings would have realized the man was not Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? Jerky. Jerk off.
Yeah, he's
Thank you, Hope.
staying quiet.
Got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. So it's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. Can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. Can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. That's twice now.
It's the same one.
Oh, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? I don't know if we do. Do we have a testimony from Meekins?
Also the Joe Dart killings, the video footage, prints, the broken jar, slot.
I don't know if we do actually, not that I can think of. Maybe we'll get to the next bit and it'll be like, ah, shoot, I don't have it.
Yeah, none of this is evidence. This is all to do with technically the other incident. Ah! Cookie! Hello! How's it going? Thanks for coming on in. Hi! What were you up to? Thank you for the raid.
Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. Ah! This can't be happening! It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do?
It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed.
Rough.
I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics.
Basics? For me, that would be what Maya used to tell me.
Phoenix, try thinking outside the box.
I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise.
Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place?
What do you mean?
There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later, as has been seen.
Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's arguments, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason.
Either to put something in there or to take something out of it. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside.
So just what exactly is this piece of
Is
cloth?
it the outfit he was wearing?
Perhaps.
Cult of the Land! That game's good. It's a good game. Nice.
Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. Very well. Let's take yet another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had opened his locker.
The glove? No, because we found the glove at the scene of the crime.
This one I'm a little confused on.
There's a glove. But we've already got a glove, but is it the same one or is it a different one? Kinda hard to tell from the footage which glove it is. I don't know if that is that glove or if that's like the other hand. Is it because he got blood on it?
He got blood on it. Got stabbed.
He's got blood on his shoulder. Is that why? Do you reckon?
He cut Meekins.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, because Meekins was the unexpected part of the plan, wasn't it? Of he wasn't expecting.
I love how they didn't model his face anymore to be like, oh, I'm being stabbed. It's just deadpan.
I like that we can genuinely go through this somewhat frame by frame. Yeah, he cut Meekins there. Cut Meekins' hand. And then Meekins leapt and grabbed him.
And his hand grabbed
And his
him.
hand grabbed his shoulder, so he got blood on it. So that's what that is. I like that you can actually see that going through the footage. That's pretty neat.
Oh, there you go. That's what we present.
So we tap on this just here. He got blood on it.
He wasn't expecting to be caught in the act.
Yeah.
For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat. You don't need to swear, Your Honor.
Yeah.
You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. And Miles helped us. Now then, Officer Marshall. Are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago. If you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now would we? Oof.
Oof.
Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it.
Your VR headset broke. Oh, that sucks. That real sucks. Sorry, bud. Any chance you can get it fixed?
All right. Seems the time has come. Oh, confession.
Oh.
Catch
Enjoy
you later,
your
guys.
food, guys. Enjoy your food.
I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. Stole the detective's ID card and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. Wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. Managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. Wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So the supposed victim was really you.
There's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor in the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be?
Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor.
That's a lot of blood.
It was way too much blood for such a small donation. Yeah, you wouldn't bleed that much, not with that past, like, literally dying or passing
On
out.
your hand as well.
Yeah.
It's, that's not, it's not like they cut an artery in his hand. It was a lot of blood.
When you say it, you mean...
Cell 9.
Did you even have to ask, partner? SL9 incident.
2 years have passed since the case was closed, which was going to completely end with the transferal that day.
Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over. What did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? The case is closed. Only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. The case is mine. Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? That day was my last chance. That's why. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal. I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere.
So you did it to fool the security camera.
And the detective's ID card? Stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filling out this lost item report.
Ah, so it was genuine.
I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. Why?
Yeah. Huh? Why? Why didn't you... Because presumably at this time, he wasn't dead.
Presumably, yeah.
Presumably.
So why would you leave it there?
Why would you put it there? Why would you not put it on his desk? So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight.
What do you mean, partner?
I mean, the fingerprints, activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. See, it's in red because I've already pointed it out. That's why I'm like, yeah, that means someone set him up.
But he could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off? Let's just say I was a little surprised. Only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. Didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type person. Thank you, sir. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID.
I'll have to think a little more about his raise next year.
When did Edgeworth get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. Sorry it had to turn out that way. With me knocking him out of everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one?
He's holding it! Yeah, he's still holding it!
I don't know what to say. So you knocked Officer Meekins out and...
No one is commenting. Like, the fact that they've even drawn attention to it now of like, yeah, it's the knife I'm holding. It's like, why are you still holding a knife?
So you did your research beforehand? Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left.
However, you blooded your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins.
If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. Opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? Recovering. What else? Sleeping like a baby. What you're saying is on that day...
There wasn't a murder in the evidence room.
But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place. What are you, blind? The victim shown on that tape's me. I'm not dead yet, partner.
So you stole the evidence from the locker?
Actually, no, I didn't.
Why not?
When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence?
Still missing, Your Honor.
Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer.
Yep.
Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID? Injuring a police officer? This is no small offense.
Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. You can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary.
Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution.
Sad.
Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. Can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why?
Why? Why?
But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room.
Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence.
I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murderers, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out. There's something that still bothers me. Something went down in that trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reasons.
Yeah, the question is, why is he so obsessed with it when he says he's not upset about the outcome? Like, you could understand if it was like, oh my god, you sent an innocent man to his death. Like, that's a valid reason to be upset. But it's like, I'm not upset about the outcome. And I'm like, what is it that you can be upset about then?
I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I better take another look at the files. Oh. We don't want to present it here, so let's maybe go to
I can check, so...
Perpetrator Joe Dark, crime, serial murder, sentence, death.
Death sentence, so he was fine with. So he's not saying that the person was innocent, but something's upset.
Victims: Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jeb Bates, Neil Marshall. Oof.
Family member.
Head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, witness Lana Skye and Emma Skye. Witnesses.
They were both witnesses. And Emma ran off.
Executive investigators Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Head investigator was Bruce Goodman. Investigators Jake Marshall and Aim Starr.
Yeah, they're all involved. So they're all involved, but for him it's personal. So we can present this.
And that's why Lana got it sent to us.
Yeah. You know why? Present. Because a family member killed.
That was the guy in the photo. Remember the flashback when I said, hey, you look similar.
Oh yeah, we were like, oh, that looks like Marshall.
Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SR9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner.
Drink cactus juice. It'll quench you.
I have the SR9 incident file here.
Nothing's quench you.
The name Marshall is mentioned in here.
Mm-hmm. It's the quenchiest, thanks, Growlithe. Face tracking's gone again. Hello, come back.
No face for you.
No, I have no face, apparently. Because I like to sit cozy.
In a list of murder victims, Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man?
What do we think, brother or father? Neil Marshall?
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago,
Oh, a brother?
he received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. What? A prosecutor? Must be talking about the King of Prosecutors award. Hi, Dan.
Hey, Dan.
I think that was a clip. Now I remember.
Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did, and you forgot him? Wow, brutal.
That's right. He was killed.
That's your prosecutor.
The case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? Oh,
Aww.
it is his hair.
It is his hair. You were proven wrong.
He was my brother.
He looks even more like Matt Mercer.
Yeah. I don't know. He was investigating the murders with Demon Gant, the then deputy of chief of police. Yeah.
Oh, this guy down
Yeah,
here.
I pointed him out just before the box.
No, I was like, oh, it can't be important. Why would they cover up his face? It's because it was a reveal for later.
Because he's dead.
It's a narrative device that we will use later.
The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer.
Yikes, it's the fucking demon headmaster. Fucking hell.
Joe Dark. It's Vetinari, isn't it?
Yeah, to be fair. Although I always imagine Vetinari with black hair.
Yeah. My brother fought Dark and was killed.
Garland knows who the demon headmaster is! Anyone else remember the demon headmaster?
It was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed.
Yeah.
He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least, according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark.
Huh?
I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight.
That's it? That's your reason for your insane actions?
There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me.
Remember the Freaky Giant Wasp episode? I actually don't remember that episode, no. Possibly I blocked it out because I hate bugs.
Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime.
That was the last day the SSL-9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with this resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence.
Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled.
Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. Dead! Things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. The exactly same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department.
Chance. It's gotta be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one.
Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky. Wait!
But wait! A verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial.
Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today.
But...
There's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department.
It seems to me, this boy's got the draw on you, partner.
Shut up, Marshall. All the mysteries of the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Sky. And the testimony of one Ms. Angel Starr is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less.
Object!
Ah! Screams! Ah! Bow. I rest my case.
Seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt.
Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department. Ah!
There's no doubt what I've proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake. But I didn't realise that would end up proving Lana guilty. Now then, time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant... Dun, dun,
Hold
dun.
it! Yeah, I knew it was her. Your Honor, wait!
Yeah.
The defense has an objection, a scientific objection, right?
Yes. What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright, you're this girl's guardian. Your Honor? Oh, in a sense.
Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please?
Oh.
I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3.
Oh.
Aww. He's not all bad. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings.
She mentions it. The names of both Sky sisters were in that file.
That's what I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker?
But no fingerprints were found on the second one, right?
No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again.
So did you find something?
No.
Huh? What? This is a you thing. I tried to help and found less. I hope this helps. Bye!
Child. Baby.
Just dumbass.
Ah! Did it help? No. 15, be nice, yeah. Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all.
Is that all? Is that all?
Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student. She's half your age, yeah.
And I'm just an attorney.
But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them... Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you.
Me? Oh, boy.
Ah!
Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regards to the incident at the police department, any reasonable doubts remain?
It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be...
Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. Ever I've needed to concentrate now. Well, we know what the issue with that bloody handprint is. Could be wrong with the handprint on Detective Gumshoe's lock. Could there be something I'm missing?
I mean, we have to object. Again,
Yeah.
It's one of those ones where it's like, well, if we say no, we're going to lose. Me? You are the lawyer. Yes.
This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction.
Even Edgeworth is like, uh-huh. The only thing that seems clear is you're grasping this, right?
You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing.
Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there?
Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark.
Just pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Oh, that's your line.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't, you slipped straight into
Yeah.
judge that, yes. Very well, Mr. Wright. All this evidence here. There's got to be something I can use. Question is, which item can prove something is missing from the floor plans? You worked it out yet, Blue?
The blue badge.
That's the blue
It's
badger.
the blue badge.
The blue badger was there. What about that piece of plywood? The blue badger, mascot of the police force.
Take a sippy. Again, the face tracking is not happy today. It keeps losing me.
Ah! Defender of truth, guardian of proof.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The blue badger is not here. So watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime.
Right in the way of it.
Well, what? That's right. As long as the blue badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker. What? It's high noon.
Ha!
So that means... just exactly what does that mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker. Don't look at me. I didn't put it there.
Mr. Wright, I walked round so that I could just come stand next to you.
Because otherwise this pose doesn't work. Emma, when did you sneak here? I crept under like a gremlin.
On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the blue badger into the evidence room, right?
Yeah, so he put it there.
After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on the locker.
So it wasn't there before. So that must mean this blood mark.
It was left there before the blue badger was brought in.
No, dumbass. He'd have noticed it. Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom.
Wow,
It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor.
that's no Pokemon.
It's the only possible explanation. On February... Oh, wait, because it was wiped off. We had to find it with...
Yeah, you have to remember that it wasn't there, it had been cleaned. We found it with the spread.
On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice.
But how?
One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand from which a trivial amount of blood fell. Problem is, the other time... someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been. It had to have been. Detective Goodman when he was really murdered.
That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim.
The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker.
So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that prove it occurred.
Oh. When did the first incident occur? I figured it out. Summarise, the defence claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in the evidence room. That's right. The blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well, then tell us. When did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place.
Two blood. Two? Two? Two blood?
There's only one piece of evidence that can show that. Now then, the defence please present its evidence. You worked it out, Will?
Is it this? Smashed over the head with it? No, because that's not his cause of death.
And also that blood looked quite old.
Yeah.
Something that's been bothering you for a while about one of the pieces of evidence that you keep coming back to.
It's this unknown person that entered before.
Happened roughly around... Well, the first instant that Mike Meekins goes in, 4:50, that's when he puts the badger in there. Which is 30 minutes after whoever Sevens entered.
Seven was.
And then
Edgeworth
about...
entered.
Edgeworth entered 20 minutes afterwards.
Bit suspicious.
If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card. Oh! The ID card record! Officer Meekins brought the blue badger panel into the evidence room at... Let's see here. 4:50 p.m. The crime took place before that time, then it would be... 4:40 p.m. Oh! Ah! Miles Edgeworth! Just what have you done? Never would have figured you'd have the nerve, boy.
Drop the act, witness. Doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me.
Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either.
God, you guys are so stupid. This is why the title for the stream is accurate, or like the smartest stupid person you've ever met. Like, what? God, you guys are so dumb. It's clear from the luminal test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood.
That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer.
I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry the body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. What do you mean, unfortunately?
That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card number remaining, all 7s. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make any sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with all 7s.
Freaking goblin.
Thank you, Hope.
Thank you, Hope. Sure, that'll be in the Discord in a couple of hours with a lot of reverb applied to it.
Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 77777.
That's 17 too many, Your Honor. But unfortunately, I am unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least, at present.
What? Explain yourself, son.
The ID number of all 7s belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Really? Someone who is a so-called executive officer. You don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity.
But that's ridiculous. Just how?
I'm not finished talking, Mr. White. There's one situation in which we can be granted such authority.
If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted. An official charge? You're alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates.
I'm sorry, why are you still here? Crazy, an executive officer, you say? Yeah, wild, isn't it, foe? I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself.
Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question.
Yes?
No, not you. To her, defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana.
Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number, and it's not all 7s.
Don't play me for a fool, partner. It's not what I wanted to ask. All I want to know is one thing. About that incident. The SL9 incident? Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence?
Hi, we haven't really had you here at all. Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Of course, you take pride in your work, Edgeworth. You literally don't have a life outside of it. That's not true. He has a boyfriend.
And a car.
Anna became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law.
Defendant, just what are you saying? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't.
I don't have to, Officer Marshall. Why won't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana! Even if it involved forging evidence. Oh.
See? That's what I'm talking about.
No!
Oh, that means the rumors were true then, because he was in charge. Order! Order!
He didn't know.
Evidently not. Lana's remarks caused such a stir. Chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day.
Woo boy! Damn.
So,
Uh-oh, John. Yeah, she did it without his knowledge, but it means that the accusations that evidence were forged were true. He just didn't forge it himself because he's responsible for it. It's still his fault.
she was chief prosecutor, so she handed him the evidence to use for the trial.
Not good. Not good.
Wow.
Oh no. That would be infuriating. Yeah, I imagine Edgeworth is not happy right now. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said. Flashback to something we just said.
That's just the way it is.
You did what you had to in order to get the verdict you deserved.
Things will never be the same.
I didn't know. I never knew that the SNI incident was just another name for Joe Dark killings.
Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me.
Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What the fuck?
Oh my god, you're about to unlock her tragic backstory.
We were like a tragic backstory!
What do you mean? What happened to you?
It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence.
What did you have to do with those killings, Emma?
One night, Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. Joe Dark tried to kill me.
What? He tried to kill you?
Yikes. Officer Marshall's brother Neil was only trying to save me. Ooh. Oh.
So that means you...
Yeah. I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial.
Didn't see that one coming.
She would have been 13.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You remember what it's like being 13 and stabbed?
Fuck. Oh my goodness, you poor child. Fucking hell. Yikes. It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year, too. It was a terrible thunderstorm that day, usual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together when she finished her work. Suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office.
Joe Dark.
Seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up.
Jay Marshall's brother.
Joe Dark tried to take me hostage. Before he could, Mr. Marshall tracked him.
Tackled him.
Yeah.
Trackle dackle.
And then,
What happened?
I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the light went out suddenly. A bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. I saw burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now.
Permanent picture.
I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall.
So you weren't able to testify about that?
No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why she made up the crime.
Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence?
The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it.
Edgeworth?
Yeah, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. Rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean. It's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. You were 13! Fucking hell! Go to therapy!
So it's true, even though he may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence.
This series does love making children watch murder like fucking hell. After that case ended, Hannah was never the same. Became cold, like she is today.
Must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. What did you see in the instant that crime occurred?
Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and used his knife.
Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl.
I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms.
Emma, you've been through so much.
Oh my god, she's so small! No! I couldn't bring myself to testify about that incident. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good.
2 years ago, you must have been 14.
14, not 13? I thought she was 15.
Math is hard.
Okay. Regardless, it's still fucked up. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies, find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way Lana would never have to forge any.
I see.
Oh, she's 16, not 15.
I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. There's still something that bothers me about that crime. There's still something that's puzzling me about that crime.
Well, what is it?
You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right?
That's right.
Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor.
Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day.
Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police?
Of course, this happened at the police department. I tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office.
But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office?
Because the detective offices in the questioning room are right across from the elevator.
Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she?
No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force.
What? That's news to me.
After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor.
Lana used to be a detective. I better have another talk with her.
Interesting.
Odd career choice move.
Yeah. I'm starting to think you can't pick a career in Ace Attorney without a traumatic backstory. Yeah, it's just one of those universes, isn't it? explains the medals. Lana. Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble.
Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type.
Criminals don't mind playing foul, why should we? But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Oh, believe me, I understand the risks.
Anna, Emma told me about you.
Oh?
About how you were a detective 2 years ago. Now the SR9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office.
That's right.
Could you fill me in on the details, especially about that unusual change of jobs?
I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright.
A lot of revelations were uncovered in the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago.
Evidence from that case was stolen as well. Oh, I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. You couldn't be held to me. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul.
Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15 there was no murder at the police department.
Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said. About you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me.
I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so phased before.
It's true, I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing. They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together.
Chief Gant?
Look at this fucking picture. He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime cases. Damon Gant is everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever! They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed!
Emma really idolises her big sister. But, now you're chief prosecutor, so what happened?
I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes, so you could use that experience in court, right? Gant's help in the SR9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office.
Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago.
2 years ago, I was second in command in the detectives investigating Dark.
Second in command? That means the investigation lead was Damon Gant, right?
Yes, Deputy Chief Gant and I share the same office and the same investigations.
They even had the same office.
Dang. We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It's the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite a gung-ho. Whatever that means. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place.
When he tried to murder Emma.
Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me.
Now you tell us.
Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Drake Dark that day. Investigation was in its final stages, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down and fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself. That's where he found me.
So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana?
Yes, sir. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. I I returned to my office. I saw 3 bodies on the floor and I smelled blood. That's interesting. I was stabbed in the back, but fell on top of him. How does that happen?
3 bodies? Prosecutor Marshall, the victim Emma, who had passed out.
And the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious.
What did you do?
To be honest, I panicked. Picked up Emma and carried her out of the room and just held her.
Can't blame her after all her sister must have gone through.
After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest.
Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident.
That's right. Quite a coincidence, hmm?
I don't buy it.
What are you saying?
There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident. Just by chance.
But that case was solved 2 years ago!
At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved.
Marshall. Yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Since his brother died, he's changed completely.
He used to be an Indian.
I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories.
That case just might not be over yet.
Huh?
Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right?
Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself as the chief office.
I think we should have a look at the chief's office, the site of the final SL9 murder.
They're just gonna let us in there? They're just gonna let us in there?
I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere.
Oh. You seem kind of quiet around here today.
You're right. Chief of Detectives seems the same, though.
Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to?
Right. We can come back here later.
Talk to him.
That man must be the Chief of Detectives. He's staring at the screen so hard it might shatter. What? Dark case may have been fabricated? That's what I thought all along. I just never bothered to tell anyone. Now there's a guy who cares about his work.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Howdy, Bambina.
Oh, Mr. Marshall.
Never thought things turned out this way when I woke up this morning. Hey, Sarah, you never know where life will lead you, hey, Bambina? Should've known my luck would run out when old Billy dried up this morning.
Really?
Must be his pet cactus. So, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, just can't go in the evidence room today, partner.
But, Mr. Marshall, why did you do it?
Why do prosecutors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like we won't be getting a steak lunch today. Something was fishy about the trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. What do you mean fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. No, the murder weapon. You mean
The knife with the
the
weave we've got.
switchblade with the broken tip? That was Joe Dark's, right? All right. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised.
Question?
The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained.
Oh.
What does that mean? It means there's a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon.
Whoa, okay.
However, report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us.
The scars that the SL9 incident left behind.
I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together.
How old was he? Your brother?
27 at the time. Was awarded the highest honor that very day. Ah, highest honor, you mean the King of Prosecutors? Knew it. What are you looking at me like that for? It's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother.
The day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as...
That's right. It was the day of the evidence transferal. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. Can't believe 2 years have gone by already. Tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. The star was fired. I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? They did something to him, too. Commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. Right?
Who are you talking about?
Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean, them again, Atlanta Sky.
Ooh.
The investigation lead, them again. Second in command, Atlanta Sky. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of the duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers. After the case ended, Atlanta transferred to the prosecutor's office, correct? Yeah. Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Sky was totally different, but she was a detective. Now that he mentions it, Emma said something similar.
Tell me, what happened to my sister?
Sorry, Bambina, but a secret is too well guarded. Never found out. Not a secret. All started 2 years ago. So there you have it. It's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It was certainly, enlightening. One thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. Someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant.
Ooh, that's a big claim to make, buddy. However, I do kind of agree with you. Man. Don't get me started.
Don't believe me? Well, I don't. I won't even be a patrolman after today.
Oh, you genuinely just did a puh.
Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. F's in chat.
F's in chat. There he goes. Despite everything, good man.
What a guy.
What a guy. So now where do we go? We go back in here? Yeah, we do.
Sippy.
Sippy! It's not a sip, Jesus Christ. Glug.
La 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 la. This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted.
That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes.
Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room. Thank you. Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us. Oh.
Hey, Blue, guess what? What? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, all of our phones just went buzz.
What have you done? What have you done? I think it's in Mims.
I can't listen to the whole thing. I can't.
But you must.
No.
But you must.
No.
So much effort has been put into it. We need our interlude break.
No. That's all. That just needs to be clipped in and of itself. Just me listening to the first second and going, no.
No.
Uh-oh. What have you done?
He's done the thing. He's done the thing.
How does it feel to be audio sampled? Spook's got a massive smile on his face.
It's me. It's me.
It's you! It's Spook Undertale.
It's me. There you go. Put there's your ringtone.
No.
You hear that Spook chords. It's me, Ming.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Hope.
Spook chords as well. My god. That's crazy. Well done. Well done. Hi, Nemo!
And they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming,
and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming. Wah. Oh my goodness. Wow. Nemo, also I realised that I forgot one thing when we were talking about maybe doing a stream together. I forgot about Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter is a valid game that we could do together.
Monster Hunter.
I might finish it later.
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Just need to auto-tune all of my screams into song.
This is true. It's very true. Also, I got bought Monster Road Trip for my birthday, so that's also a game that I think we could play. But anyway.
So we summon Nemo with Undertale. Interesting.
I wonder if I might be able to find a clip of Nemo, because I was the one that clipped it, and I think Twitch does actually tell me which clips I've made alongside clips of my channel.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a heartache. Clips that I've created. It was a while ago.
Really was a while ago.
Damn, it was a while ago.
There you go.
Ah, there it is.
It's like you should be burning in hell. Okay, whoa, okay, calm down. Oh, holy, okay. Oh, pardon me. Oh, sorry.
Hope, you can't clip the clip.
Oh, this is gonna go well.
Yeah, I was watching Nemo fight Sans live, and I started keeping a tally of how many times they died, and I lost track after 60 because of time zones.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, it's just the bit at the end where he just goes, "Ooh."
I got to get good at these. Oh no.
Nemo won though. He did beat
Yeah.
him. Yeah, Nemo did beat Sans Undertale.
Damn.
God gamer. God gamer. But yeah. Also, if you're not following, I love that clip. I love that clip as well. I was like, can I do this from here? I think I can.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
There we go. You should go follow Nemo.
Stalk him.
It took a bit of doing. Yeah. Well, it took more than 60 attempts. And again, I couldn't keeping track because it took Nemo more than one stream. So obviously I couldn't keep I struggled to keep the tally between streams. But he did do it. And I did see him do it. It was very impressive. Anyway.
With the chief prosecutor saying what she did and the decision about what to do about Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention her statement to the media in tomorrow's trial. There's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together.
Oof.
Festive is the word usually used for those.
So we'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office.
Just use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor.
Really? I mean, it's okay for us to go there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything.
Shut up. Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off
Oh,
limits.
goddamn it, Emma!
Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm.
Well, what are we heading for? Let's head to the chief's office.
Goodbye. Oh.
Oh, this. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm slightly worried about what's going to happen here.
Mm.
Yes, Nemo is a very good friend, Gulu. Very, very good friend. What the fuck?
Look at its grandiose magnitude.
Whatever I was expecting, it wasn't that. Dramatic bitch, yeah, just a little bit.
All the evil villains have really massive organs.
Huh.
Did you not know this? You're right there, Blue.
Yeah, I'm literally, you can see how I'm literally just sat right in front of my camera
I
and
mean,
it's
that
just,
is how you're sat looking at the organ.
it lost it when I sort of like leaned off to the side. I never have this problem any other day of the week, but whenever we play Ace Attorney, the face cam just completely and regularly loses my face for some reason.
Oh.
It's probably because I spend a lot of time not looking at the camera because I keep looking over at you.
Yes, we're still going. Oh my god. Organ.
Yes, we're here. This explains where the music came from. Also, look, the pictures on the wall, and there's the urn at the back. Jesus Christ.
Whoa, where am I?
I don't remember if I said it when we first heard the music, but it really sounds like this music should be in Final Fantasy, not Ace Attorney. Do all villains have massive organs, or does having a massive organ make you become a villain?
Would explain my laugh.
You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become
A massive
an
organ.
In the Chief's Hollis, silly, or at least that's what it said on the door.
Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it?
Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss Ba.
Little Miss Bitch. That's what it was.
Although I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes. Don't just start playing the organ! Never could remember where C was.
Oh, fuck. I've now got to go all Irish on you again.
No.
With my terrible Irish accent.
No!
Hmm?
No!
Hmm? Dun dun dun. Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant! He put that paper he was reading in his desk.
We really just walked in and he was just here.
So, righto, have you been swimming lately? No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately. I can appreciate that. Had me hands too full with Mr. Marshall's misconduct and Lana's provocative statement. Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence? 2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies. See that big picture on the wall over there? The handsome one on the left is me. That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me.
Is this picture taken in this room?
Potentially.
There's two things. Pot in the background. Massive sharp spear.
So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We took it to commemorate our work together. Something's not right with this picture.
Yeah. Is it the urn or the massive spear when we've literally just heard that it was apparently odd that the stab wound didn't match the knife?
Can't quite seem to put my finger on it though.
Look, it's right there. This man has a suit of armor in his office!
Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention.
The dramatic pauses get me every time. Every time when there's just that long pause and I'm like, did someone say something?
I'm going to lock up here, so let's go out together.
Oh, but this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore. All the same, we'd still like to have a look around. Perhaps she didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend.
Looks like we aren't welcome.
Seems that case isn't over with yet after all.
What do you mean?
Chief Kent denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there.
You mean like a clue?
It's gotta be a way we can get inside the chief's office.
We go back inside again. Alexander Anderson, yes. Hey!
Hey, pal. Detective Gumshoe, aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm, just taking a breather. My feet hurt.
From sitting so
Actually, I'm serving everyone coffee.
long? Aw, Gumshoe.
Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Say, have either of you seen my boyfriend? Edgeworth? No. Why'd you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battle's between you two in court. That sounds serious.
Is it because of what my sister said?
That's basically what it all boils down to. That bunny boiler falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood.
Yikes. Edgeworth's crisis, Jesus.
Why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Skye's the guilty party here, isn't she? Sorry. Regardless, a prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talents as a prosecutor has kept him safe from those who don't like him. But now with this...
Are there really so many people who hate him?
In our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know of for making enemies. Hey, Dick! Keep up the good work! Yes, sir! Let's go out for lunch again sometime. My treat! Yes, sir!
What's happening right now?
I don't know. You gotta send me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick? Yes, sir! Seems you don't have any problems with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack.
Yeah, everybody likes Gumshoe.
Actually, I took a look at the files earlier while the coffee was brewing. Oh, he seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth.
Yeah, that's his boyfriend.
Well, did you find anything useful? The only evidence Dark left behind was during his final attack. His final attack against when he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl.
Me.
Seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl. That's when he left the most incriminating evidence out of all.
Well, what was it?
Oh, let's see. I think it had something to do with a murder weapon. Oh, I forget. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay? His powers of recollection never fail to impress.
Well, maybe we should show him the murder weapon. Might jog his memory. We'll do that afterwards.
Joe Dark was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman. Businessman? What made him take to serial killing? One day, on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car.
His car? So it was an accident?
An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal.
Animal?
He killed a man that witnessed the accident. Then he killed a lady who saw the second crime. A kid walked by just then, so he killed him too. Then, when he was burying the bodies, a jogger came across the scene and was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in.
Jesus.
Seems he was a pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence. So he turned himself in. Yeah, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim, Prosecutor Marshall. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Dark was arrested on the spot. Oof. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed. That last witness? AKA Emma.
Huh. Vent. Kniffy.
About this. Hey, is that? There's a tag attached to it with the label SL9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of. What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in a locker.
On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker. It was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler.
That's it! Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me.
Well, what is it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again. Yes.
This knife, it was Joe Dark's, wasn't it? That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at, plus it had his fingerprints on it too.
No one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right?
That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken.
You don't have to take a good look to notice that.
Yeah, well, anyway. Take a guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in.
Where was it? It was in Marshall's body.
The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body.
Ugh.
It was found deep inside the stab wound. Did it match Dark's knife? You bet! Down to the last fiber.
That's pretty conclusive. Oof. Yeah. Stabbed in the back and died from a punctured heart and lung. Knife tip was in the wound. But it still doesn't match up because both the image that Emma remembers and the photo of the crime scene has the knife in his back, but has the murderer in front of him.
Well, he was above him, and he was grabbing his arm. It
yeah.
can be easy to disarm someone by
Okay,
pulling
but-
them forward and
yeah.
stabbing them.
Yeah, but then that doesn't explain how he landed on top of him. So that doesn't match up.
True.
He was stabbed in the back, but how did he end up landing on top of him? He was stabbed in the back. So something happened there that we just don't know what it was.
Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know. Can I ask you one more thing? What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant. It's not money, but it does concern the Chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered.
The chief's out now and his office is locked, but we'd like to have a look around if that's okay?
Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door.
What? Really?
But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust.
Breach of trust?
Simply put, I'd be canned. Oh. Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you.
How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's.
That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died.
Oof. Also, Emma, that would also be very illegal. Oh.
So in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office.
I wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind. Change your mind. Oh, fuck. Do you want to end there so we can go cook some dinner?
Yeah.
There's still a decent amount left in this case, it feels. Barely scratching the surface, to be honest. We've literally had to solve, like, 3 full cases. Like, we've solved the case that was the mystery of what was happening in the evidence room. Now we have to solve the mystery of what happened here with this guy before we can then solve what Lana actually did. Like,
It's a good case, isn't it?
It's complicated. It is good. It's very good. Save the game. Right. Do you want to play another game tonight, or do you want tonight to yourself?
What did you want to do?
I've got Chance of Sonar.
You want to do Chance of Sonar?
Yes,
Sonar.
a new puzzle game.
Chance of Radar.
New puzzle game for us to try.
Cloudy with the Chance of Radar.
Play it? Yay! Alright, well, we'll be back later then. Maybe in like 2 or so hours, probably around 7, half 7. Because if we leave it till 8, that's only going to give us an hour or so, but I guess it depends how long food takes. So we'll see you later. We're going to be playing a new game. It's going to be
Bye.
exciting. Right.
See you in a bit.
See you in a bit. Bye, everyone. Bye.